Okay, well, thanks for being with us, Sophie.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, pleasure. So you've just finished a design of a 9.5 star sustainable home?
Yes, it's a project based in Cairns. It's a sustainable home, 9.5 star. It's got all the features, sustainable features for a $250,000 budget. So we're really excited about bringing this kind of home to the affordable market.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I guess to help us answer this question we've had from Benjamin, how would you go about creating a sustainable home?
It depends on where you're located, but there's some basic principles of passive design, getting the right orientation for the site, getting the right overhangs. If you're in Queensland, for example, you would want big overhangs. Further south in Victoria, you might want to get some heat into the home to emit through the night. So it's working with your local climate and conditions, and getting that passive design right first is the most important thing.
Okay, so Sophie, do you think there's a growing demand for energy efficient and sustainable homes in the Queensland market?
Definitely. I think a lot of the homes that you see in Cairns are actually designed for the Melbourne or Sydney markets. They're all standard project homes. So coming up with a home that's specific to the Queensland climate and having that lightweight construction and the good overhangs and things like that, it's really important to design for the actual environment that you're in and make sure that the home is well designed. That sort of is the biggest part, I think.
Okay. And how much does it differ in terms of getting the most out of the energy efficient aspects of your home, state to state and climate to climate?
There is quite a bit of variation. I mean, you've got to look at each site individually and the orientation. In Queensland particularly, and especially in Cairns, we're not really concerned at all with keeping the home warm. We're trying to keep it cool. So we're really looking at keeping that heat out. And that's things like overhangs, window tinting, cross ventilation and venting the roofs and things like that. But in further south you get, the more you're actually looking at keeping the heat in during certain times and keeping it cool at certain times. So there's different things that they have to look at with their orientation and so forth.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I guess for someone who's in the design stage of creating a new home and they want it to be as energy efficient as possible,
yes,
what would be their first consideration in your opinion?
Well, firstly, we'd be looking at doing a site analysis. So looking at the best orientation of that home for the block. So making sure, in most areas in Australia, north facing is the best. So, and that's where all your living zones go. In the south, you can put the services and bedrooms. So that's pretty much Australia-wide as a principle. So when you're buying the block in the first place, buying a block that's got a good access living area to the north, if you can, and if not, just working with what you have. But so the orientation is about 90% of it.
So Sophie, you've just completed your energy efficient 9.5 star home. What's been the market reaction?
Well, it's been done as a collaboration of the Tropical Green Building Network, so it's got the support of the council. JCU are doing some testing there. It's had a lot of publicity locally, so everyone's really excited that this kind of home is now available on the market and it's actually affordable. So this is the first time that something like this has actually been available for that kind of price range. So we're really excited, and people have been responding saying we've been waiting for something like this to come out. So it's been really positive.
Fantastic. And do you think there's some education needed in the market for people to really understand the benefits of an energy efficient home?
Definitely, but I think in the mainstream market, most people can see the benefits of having a home that firstly that's comfortable to live in and also that's affordable to run. So those kind of selling points, I think everyone is actually really keen to have those. But the actual features, I think people are learning a lot more about that kind of thing, and there is a lot of information out there. But the home is actually an education tool, so people can go in and actually have a look at those things in practice and see how they can bring them into their own homes.
Benjamin's goal is to achieve a 10-star rating home.
Yes.
Your home you just completed was 9.5 star. Can you tell me the difference between a 9.5 and a 10-star rating home?
Well, every extra star you get costs a bit more. It doesn't cost a lot to go from, say, a 6-star to an 8-star. We did one recently that cost only $1,000 to upgrade from a 6 to 8-star, and that was things like light colours, window tinting, vented roof space, and larger fans. But once you get up to the 9.5 to 10, there is a bit more cost associated there, and a lot of that's about zoning areas. But it can be just getting the right orientation, the right colours, and you have to look at each one individually. But there's definitely ways to achieve that 10-star depending on your location.
And I suppose when you're talking additional costs to increase the energy efficiency of your home, what kind of payback period are people looking at?
Well, at that $250,000 budget, it does pay itself back very quickly. And we're finding that kind of budget, if you actually spend $250,000 on a home and you've got no ongoing running costs, well then you might be paying an extra, say, $30,000 or $40,000 for that home compared to a standard home. But that actually pays itself back probably over 10 years or so.
So tell us, Sophie, how did this project come about?
Well, We have a network called the Tropical Green Building Network in Cairns, and that's a network of builders, designers and product suppliers and community groups. And we all get together and we look at what's missing in the market, and we discovered that there was a need for a sustainable home in the market that was actually affordable. So everyone kind of got together and donated certain parts of the home. So Kennick Constructions built the home and I designed the home, and we had people providing solar panels and so forth. So it was a real collaboration of the community group, and everyone felt a real ownership of the project.
Is the skill set different to
A
an average
standard
builder?
I think they could all do it. They're not. Some of them aren't really interested in doing it, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's more that they've seen the benefit of it, and but it's not that it's built any differently to. It's still standard construction. The other thing about this home is that it's actually it's been designed for work health and safety and also access for ageing populations as well.
Oh, okay.
So as well as having all this, it's sustainable not only sort of environmentally, but also as all the lower VOC paints and everything have been selected to make it safe as a workplace for workers building the site. And all the widths of the hallways and the level changes have been designed for future access. So it's sort of a lifestyle. So it's
And who's this home aimed at? What part of the market?
It's aimed to basically take people through all different stages of the market. That's why it's got these wider hallways. So if you're older and you end up in a wheelchair or something, you can actually adapt the home. So it's a very adaptable home for all stages of your life.
Sophie, what are the core features that make this home so energy efficient?
Well, firstly, you've got the passive design. As I mentioned before, that's the most important thing, getting the right orientation, the cross ventilation, open planning, good overhangs. And then you've got light coloured walls and roof, and then lightweight materials in the walls and well insulated walls and roof. You've got a passive ventilated roof with vented eaves, and it's actually got a solar roof vent. And then there's also solar power, solar water, and then all your water saving features such as rainwater tanks, water saving devices. There's a new product called the collector on the showers that actually keeps the water that you run at the start as the water's heating up, and then returns it to the system, so you're not wasting that water at the start. And there's a special, the Caroma sink, where you wash your hands above the cistern and that water runs into the toilet and use that to flush. So it's lots of water saving features as well. So, and also native gardens and composting and permaculture and so forth.
Very cool. And what about cross ventilation?
Yes, there's louvers throughout the home and triple sliding doors, so everything opens right up, and it's a real indoor-outdoor connection.
Energy efficient lighting?
Yeah, it's LED lighting throughout, so 100% LED lighting, which is really low energy use, and that adds to the benefits in the energy savings I mentioned before.
Sophie Barrett, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.